One, good morning. I'm sorry, don't have the normal intro, but I don't know how to do it. So there we go. Let me get a little organized. Just went and grabbed a hot cup of coffee, which always makes me happy. Everybody tells me I drink too much coffee. Cheers, everyone. Happy Sunday. It's November the 9th, 2025, 10:30 a.m. in the morning. This is year two. Hope you guys can hear me fine. Let me get the comments section up so I can actually see what I'm doing here. Wow, people are already in the room. That's so awesome. Hopefully you guys can hear me well. I have some bells playing in the background you may hear, and if they're too loud, let me know. Happy day to everyone. Love the banner down below. It's been there sometime. I wrote this a year ago and never even put it up. But love the banner. Would love you guys to repost the room. Meet my new friend here. Just finished this. I was going to give this to Grant, and I forgot to give it to him, so I gave him something else. Gave him a huge painting, actually. And we're going to talk a little bit about that today because that was quite interesting. This week's been really fascinating for me. Hopefully, it's been fascinating for you. Let me get a few little housekeeping things out while people pile into the room. I want to congratulate, by the way, Mama Crypto 04686. She was the third person to be here. The first person to be here was Sandra. Good. Oh, look at that. Somebody's giving me kisses. Awesome. San77 Dra. Hey, welcome. Thank you for being here. And the first one, numero uno. Dasilkane 3933. Welcome, buddy. Welcome. I don't know you guys. Never seen you here before. If you're new, wow. Love you being here. Thank you. And then we got Mama Crypto here, right? As I said, awesome. Good to have you here, sweetie. And we got Mr. James Behan. We got I am here. I am here, dude. Me too. I am present. I just asked the universe to use me as a brush. Use me. I am the brush. I am the brush. That's all I am. And it's a lot. Okay. It's a lot of responsibility to be the brush. We're going to talk a little bit about that today. Hey, Nicholas, thanks for being here. Nicholas Guru. I must say I have not seen some of you people before. Blockchain Becky, know her for sure. Good to see you. Good morning. Mel M. Man, I got a little thick in my throat today. Mel M's here. Pongo. Ohio. Whatever happened to Bob Smith? Mary Ellison. Lori. There, look, we have a regular name. Leanne, here's another regular name. Hey, we have more women. Let's make this a Guinness World Book record. There are more women in Gary Cardone's I Am movement than there are in all of Bitcoin and all of the crypto spaces. And by the way, I welcome every one of you guys, okay? In fact, I would say to the crypto people, if you're going to be really successful, and happy, and you're going to trade and really be stuck in that market, which I love, by the way, but it's a volatile, full of life organism it's going to have lots of ups and downs. If I don't know myself extremely well, I make big mistakes. And when I'm playing with money and businesses and people's lives, it's unnecessary. Okay, it takes 2 hours a week. I'm going to tell you something today that 2 hours a week. Now, in fairness, I have been doing it more than 2 hours a week because I'm having to think about it. But let's call it 4 hours a week. It's not true. Okay. It's not true that I'm spending 4 hours. I have really now devoted a lot of my life to looking at myself and being quiet and studying. So I would be remiss in saying this hasn't turned into well, actually, it's not. I was going to say it's a labor of love, but it is love, man. Wow. I've never actually. It is love. It is love what I am doing. I am actually following something that has no measurement or metrics behind it for the first time in my life. And I'm getting unbelievably powerful results from it. All I'm asking you to do is spend 1 or 2 hours a week. Excuse me for getting emotional, but this has been a phenomenal journey for me. Experientially has been scary, but the results I'm getting are spectacular. And that I could just sit here and go, wow, I am actually doing something now. I'm spending a lot of time. I'm going to tell you all you got to do is spend 2 hours out of your 187 hours every week. Is that right? Yeah, that's about right, right? 24 times 7 is, 24, 7, 8, 168, 168 hours. All you need is 2 hours. Okay, by the way, if you're not spending 2 hours, divide 2 hours by 168. If you're not spending 1% of your week thinking about who you are as an asset and as a liability, how the heck could you possibly know yourself? Right? You spend all your time on business, family, shooting guns, playing games, doing whatever you do, playing golf, football, studying. 2 hours asking one question. It's not even a question. It is a journey. I am is a journey. Okay. I am. In fact, I am a journey. Wow, man. Maybe that's what we should call this thing. I am a journey, dude. Like my whole life has been a journey. Every philosopher on this planet has talked about the road that you take, not the end of the road, but the journey of the road. I am journey, dude. I am a journey. I look at my life as an adventure or an experience. The scariest adventure I could possibly ever take on is inward. It's not fighting a battle or going down the Nile, or it's me, man, inside. Okay, so I'm asking you to spend 2 hours. I want you to repost this room. There isn't a human being in this room right now. What do we got? 700 people. There isn't a human being here that doesn't know immediately. I want you to think of someone that needs this room. I want you to think of someone who needs to get in touch with themselves, okay? I mean, think about this. 1%. I've spent now probably 10% of the last 2 years of my life, and the transformation I have had is spectacular, okay? And when I ask you this question, if you truly are the greatest asset, if you truly are the greatest asset, if you truly are one of one, which is my motto here, it's what I'm trying to prove, and you only spend 1% or 0% being with yourself, not being with children, not being with the work, not being with your telephone, your new lover, your new communication thing, your phone. Hey, guys, you want to try a little exercise? Put your phone away somewhere today for 5 hours, okay? Just see how you do, man. If you start thinking about it or missing it, you're already addicted, dude. You're dependent on this little thing. And you can argue with me all you want, but you're dependent. I am dependent. Guess what? When I have my attention on my 213 phone number, my little phone, ooh, what if I lose it? I don't have my attention on myself. I don't have my attention on the indicators are going to show me what I'm doing and where I'm going, who I am. I'm on the journey. Okay. All right. I'm excited, and I'm excited. Oh, good. You guys like the music? Is the music in the background too loud? Not loud enough? That's awesome. Hey, I really appreciate you guys being here. We'll have 1,000 people coming here right as I start. It's 10:41. I hate starting late. Didn't start late. That's good. And I like the way we kind of started our, the startup, because that's kind of where I'm at. Okay, I've been doing a lot of writing, and in fact, I did more thought and preparation today than normal. I don't know why, and it's becoming easy. Not easy. Once I get out the way, it becomes really easy. It's amazing. So Steve Carella says, "I am the asset. I am the asset, man. My job isn't my asset. My company's not my asset. My buddy, my boss is not my asset. And by the way, my girlfriend is not my asset. I am the asset." Okay, so everything you're going to hear me say today is going to sound extremely narcissistic. It's going to sound sociopathically self-centered and self-focused. However, I would ask you to look at this hour or so that we're going to spend together as a little different framing, okay? I find it, I never ever trust the teacher who is good at spouting the work, but they're not really, the results of their life don't really show that they are actually following their own formula. I have learned more from men and women who don't tell me what to do, but they tell me their story. Okay, they tell me their story, and they tell me, "Hey, I read, this book, and it taught me." So, what I'm trying to say is that I'm not interested in theory. I am only interested in philosophy. Zero dogma. I do not want any dogma. Okay, in spirituality, I mean, who in the room loves going to doctors and the nurses, and then the x-ray guy, and then the chemical guy, and then and the pharmaceutical guy, and the anesthesiologist, and then the other? How many of you guys like going there knowing that you're not going to understand most anything they talk about? They're going to talk to you. They're going to talk down to you. They're going to tell you what you need to do. You're not going to be allowed to ask questions. And by the way, most of the nurses and doctors do something completely different than they tell you. Now, why am I bringing this up? Same thing with teachers. Do as I say, not as I do. So I thought it would be braver and more authentic, because I think, by the way, that authenticity is the trick here. Okay, it's the trick. So I can't talk about you. I can't tell you. I can't talk about look, first off, I barely can manage my own thing. So me focusing on what you should do is like pretty weird. My theory is, once I get perfect, I mean, like, I'm all fixed up and spiritual, and I'm glowing, and I'm light, and I never get bothered, maybe I can go dig in your shit and show you how to fix your shit. Until then, I'm going to keep my criticism to myself and realize my self-criticism, whether it be about myself or whether it be about you, is really an indicator of me not looking at myself. I'm going to say something, and so this is another way for me to teach. I can look at you and just go, "Hey, you 1,000 people, every time you're critical, you're being an asshole." and you have some like form of default, and your mom issues or your daddy issues or your greed issues or your envy issues. Oh, and you're breaking some of the mortal sins, so stop that. Oh, you're depressed. Well, let me tell you what you should do. You're depressed. You need to go take action. That doesn't help you. Hey, I've got a really mean boss, and I have to do something I don't want to do, and you're complaining and whatever. Look, the situation is that I have to look at self. This music may end up bothering me a little bit. These were supposed to be bells. I don't know what happened there. So on the authenticity piece, okay, I am authentic. I am authentic. Now, I believe I am a journey. I believe that most people are a journey, and I believe the greatest journey and the most courage required from me, the most courageous journey I can take is internal. I've spent most of my life, in fact, I had to admit to someone the other day, I had to admit to myself that I have never, that I can remember, traveled by myself for pleasure. Never. Now, that should come as a really weird thing to most people. I have, however, traveled most of my life by myself, doing war. I've always considered business as almost a military exercise. So, I mean, travel all the time by myself. But see, I had to have some reason. Just to travel by myself has been one of the most terrifying things I've ever considered doing. Now, some of you people should be sitting out there, back to the authenticity, and why I'm trying to explain to some people here, especially the people that are new, that this is going to sound like a really me. I hate people like this, okay? I really don't like it. However, the only way for me to be truly authentic, and I actually think for us to get anything done, is for a guy like me who has created this image, okay? I've created a valence. That's a cool word, like a veil, a valence, a mask of Gary, okay? And once, I don't know, I meet 13, 15 people, and you go survey these people, and hey, what's that character like? And the majority of the people are going to use a number of different descriptions to color their impression of who I am. I guarantee you there is going to be a consistency among 15 people. It's going to look like confident, maybe arrogant, depending on the questions and the kind of the content. Really, like, maybe even angry, a little scary, which I always found amazing. I've been told I am scary for so long. It's amazing. People that work for me, and I've always been amazed. The people that have worked with me have been scared. I don't know why. But I think it's it's what I put out. Okay, so first good thing to do is do a survey on, hey, how do other people see me? If 12 people tell me I'm arrogant, I might want to look at being arrogant. All right, I'm all over the place today, but I'm going to get focused, but I do have a lot on my mind, okay? So this morning I started it around, I woke up, you guys are going to have to just bear with me because a lot's going on with me. 4 years ago, I had only the amount of energy to do 2 things. I mean, literally, okay? I had energy enough to fight a battle and to think about fighting the battle. That is it. And I literally started just turning everything off. I am really good at this in that if I go into emergency mode, I know what to do. Emergency mode means shut everything down that doesn't help me get through this shit as fast as possible. Let me just, I will advise you of one thing, okay? My goal here is to be as authentic as possible, to be honest. I don't understand why all the great leaders of the world and wealthy people end up writing books about their perfect life. My life has not been perfect. It's been exciting. It has not been perfect. It has been a train wreck of great decisions and poor decisions. And you're going to hear the stories about all the poor decisions because, quite frankly, the poor decisions are quite exciting. I mean, they are exciting if you survive them. But I do believe, okay, they may make good short-term funny stories, but the mistakes I make and the shortcuts I have attempted to make, which, by the way, if I know myself, I won't take the shortcut. However, if I don't know who I am and what I'm really trying to be and who I am and why I'm here and what my purpose is, what my one of one is, anyone that's not here, you need to understand, maxim, the first principle is I believe you're a one of one, and that makes you extremely freaking rare. In fact, the most rare thing is a spirit, a being, an entity with its own unique energy. And I think probably if you weren't here, you probably weren't supposed to be here. If you are here, my base thesis is you must supposed to be here for some bigger reason than you and I can explain, unless you just think you're a freaking random drop of the universe. And if you think that, which I'm pretty much sure that you don't really in your core, because if people thought that, they would just do whatever, whenever, however they wanted to. Got to pee? Throw your old ding dong out in the middle of the street and pee. You would have zero consciousness or care about society or any of the rules, because you think simply there is nothing, there's no impact. Now, I think if I throw a rock into the ocean, I will see a ripple. It may not be a big one, but I will see a ripple. If I can throw a tiny stone into the Atlantic Ocean and create a ripple, what do you think my energy has the capacity to do if I have massive, beautiful, energized, clean intention to float love, energy, knowledge? Now, why do I use the word love? Love has no motive behind it. True love has no motive behind it. Now, folks, I've never heard that in my life. I've never heard that quote. Please, somebody go grok it and see if anybody's ever made that quote. But I don't know if you've ever heard that quote. But I think that's a truism, okay? And by the way, it just came to me as I'm communicating this as authentically as possible. It would not come to me if I wanted to frame this up and make myself look all perfect and scripted. By the way, there's no scripting here. I don't write anything. All the stuff I write down is for preparation for me. And I'm happy to share if you guys are interested in what I do write. I'll read you every drop of it. but it's not an agenda for what we're going to talk about, which will and may drive some people crazy because I bounce all over the place. And why am I bouncing all over the place? Because I'm the brush, dude. Okay. And if it's sloppy, blame the painter, but it's not me. Okay. There's a lot of brushes on my palette, and I don't blame any of them. Okay. When I'm painting, I don't blame it. Like, all I do is, oh, wow, there's a green one, there's a red one, there's a black one. Some note from Dad said Gary is on the path. Dude, I am so on the path. It's crazy. I have been searching for this path. Look, I may get emotional. I'm an emotional guy. Okay. I don't cry a lot. Well, I mean, I cry. I probably have more tears than most men have. However, this is massive for me. Okay. This is the greatest treasure I have ever found. Seriously. I mean, I have made stupid amounts of money. Never really cared about the money, disrespected it often, built businesses against all odds. And I'm telling you, what I am doing right here, I've never made one penny off of, have no intention on making any money off of, and it makes me so happy. Okay. And not only in fact, anyone that I need some help too. I have all this material, but like, I need to be able to go back into whatever session I said, I'm not a happy guy. Like, I don't even strive for happiness. Okay. I think happiness is bullshit. I don't even know what it is. Okay. However, I just tell you, hey, it makes me happy to come here. But I'm not happy all the time. I wake up like a bear, man. I'm you know, I'm not happy all the time. I haven't been happy most of my life. I mean, happy on purpose, excited, gangster kind of like, hey, let's go, full of energy, fun. I mean, I've always been kind of like fun and playful. But this, man, this is a treasure. I mean, love has no motive behind it. Okay? No motive behind it. I just give it to you, man. Here. You know what my motive is for being here? My motive for being here, and I actually thought about, I should honor every book that I've ever read from any woman or man who took the courage, the audacity, even the Norman Vincent Peale, Carl Jung, look, I don't care if they were all right or perfect. All the work Freud did. No, you notice all the work, most of the recent philosophers are about 1850 to 1930, and then they all went away, man. They almost all went away. And then we ended up with this weird kind of, religion got really big. Religion got pretty big. The new age movement then came in, the Marianne Williamsons and a lot of psychologists, psychiatrists. And I think Marianne did it. Like, I think her work on miracles was spectacular. Can't remember the exact name of it, but a huge piece of work. Huge piece of work, okay? I am here because other people, and by the way, I need to thank even the people that led me astray. The experts, the religious leaders, all of that. I read a book once by a guy named Peck called The Road Less Traveled. And within the first page of it, the first freaking page, I was, oh my God, man, this is the way. The way is inside. Now, I would not have ever even had that thought had he not had the courage, the gumption, the ego to write the book. So I just thank all those people, right? I think my brother, anyone that writes something that has good intention behind it, okay? And my intention here is most certainly to be authentic and to, I think rather than me telling you what to do, it's easier for you to just go, hey, that guy's doing that? Well, he's too cool to do that kind of stuff. I'm so cool, dude. I can do this stuff. This is super cool. I mean, seriously, okay? You're one of one. You're pretending to be one of many. And I'm here to show you that if you just embrace your one of oneness, okay? Might have to die over it. One of one will not allow you to prostitute yourself. Now, this is a problem, okay? It's going to be a real problem for many people. One of one will not allow me to prostitute myself. I know it's socially, it's just uncomfortable, isn't it? And a man told me, I think yesterday, he used the term, hey, Gary, you know, adults, you know, there's no black and white in the world, you know. If somebody's doing something bad, I mean, you can't, if you're making a living, I mean, you know, you like, what are you supposed to do? I mean, and I'm like, well, you're supposed to do whatever you're supposed to do, man. You're supposed to do whatever you're supposed to do. Now, the question is going to be, are you the main actor on the stage? Or am I the main actor on the stage? And did I write my script? Or did someone else write the script? Because my friend Joe, who has perfect reason for, and by the way, it's an awesome debate. Black and white versus gray. You know, let me get in the gray here, and I'm not going to upset anybody. Life is not perfect. You know, I've got a client that's committing felonies, but I'm going to keep taking money from them. There was a time in my life when I was like, ass none of my business. And today, I don't have clients that are felons and criminals. I don't. I will not take them. I will not cooperate with them. I won't work with them. It's not my job to report anyone to anyone. In fact, it's not my job to judge anyone. And I don't. If people know me well, like, dude, do whatever you want. I may not be able to cooperate, operate, or interact with you because I don't want to get the stink on me. What's the stink? It's not your stink. Okay? It's not your stink. It's cool if you want to do it. Like I could never be a divorce lawyer. I could never be a pharmaceutical salesman. This is why I think that it's really, 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 really important. I could never be a banker preying on consumers. However, I could be a banker as long as my only enemy, my only damage I do is to other Wall Street players, people my same size. Don't go pick on somebody smaller than you. Anyone can do that. But the champions or the David and Goliath stories, Joe, Joan, Jill, Bob, Mary, David and Goliath are the stories that we remember. How many Davids were there? One of many, dude. But there was only one of him, okay? So find your damn David. For me, one of one does not allow me to prostitute myself. And authenticity should get in the way. And I think in order for me to really access all of me, all of my imagination, all of my capabilities, all of my weapons, all of my defenses, all of my genius, When someone looks at you and says, I am a genius in this area, man, what's the first thing we think? Is like, wow, wow, why is he bragging on himself? Why wouldn't we all expect each of us to go find our freaking genius? Hey, man, just go find your genius, okay? You know it's there. I don't know if people know it's there anymore, okay? Because they're so busy. Busy equals noise, folks. Okay. I have studied quite a bit on addiction, and I would say actually I'm a highly addictive personality. I would probably read right on the border of being, an addictive, compulsive. Most certainly, I would be known as ADHD, compulsive, addictive personality. But all those titles and everything, most certainly, I lean toward extreme. If it's not extreme, I'm not going to do it. It's not fun. It's just not fun for me. I saw my brother the other day. He said, "Hey, when was the last time you watched a baseball game, World Series game?" I said, "Oh, been like forever." He said, "You have to go watch the 10th game or the 9th game or whatever game it was, the last game, best World Series game ever." And I said, "Well, that's enough for me." See, he knows, dude, don't even watch the first 5. But the last one was worth spending the time. I'll be excited about it. Now he's a cat that I look at and go, see, he's got similar energy. The other thing is, I don't know what, but we both now we've taken very, very different paths on this journey. Well, I most certainly have. I've been on most every journey he's been on. Not all the way through necessarily, maybe different ways, but this journey for me, this last 4 years has literally been with me, with writing, with books, asking myself questions, and listening to the world. Listening to the world. And what I'm listening for is inconsistencies. Okay. And I'm looking for inconsistencies, not like a hawk. Hey, look how bad the system is. I know the system's bad. So do you. And the reason that I know the system's bad is I barely know who I am. I barely know who Gary Cardone is. I've run billions of dollars in corporations. I've sat on boards. I've run money all over the world, traveled, been with, known really cool people, known some not so cool people. And if I would have started this journey when I was 7 years old, I would probably be leading some country right now. I most certainly would have taken a different path. But the path I'm on right now required all of that experience, all of that pain, all of those wins, the wins. See, it's funny because the wins, once you make enough, and to all you billionaires out there, and to all the people in the 98% that look up at these billionaires, not one of them has any more than you do. They are all, in fact, I would say that 99% of them, assuming you're not a psychopath, and, mentally just extremely disturbed. I'm not going to use the word chemical because I'm not sure that's a deal. I believe there's an energy problem. We need to talk about that, by the way. We may run long today. But there isn't a billionaire, mega billionaire, deca-billionaire, deca-billionaire, okay? Not a sheikh, not a president out there that has it figured out. Has not. In fact, they're more uncomfortable because money can't buy this journey, dude. This journey is not about how many steroids you take. It's not about how many nootropics you stick in your brain. It's not how many acid trips you do. I'm not saying that some of that stuff isn't like good, but at some point I have to come to reality and go, hey, I am the journey. I need to really expand my mind and understand, hey, look, I need to go in. I've spent little time in. I would beg you to just ask yourself, how much time in your 35, 38, 48, 68 years you've been on this planet, how many hours have you spent inventorying the greatest asset that you have total control over, and you delegate that control to other people? It'd be like you handing your Fort Knox, a 101, over to somebody. Go, hey, tell me what to do. If it's working for you, you probably are wasting your time in this room. I can't, like, there's nothing. If it's working for you, keep doing it. Okay. But if you're here, you need to share this room with somebody else, because most people are like this. Okay. If you're not human, you may not be like this. And I actually think there might be some non-human people on this planet. However, I will say to you, okay, you have to be conscious to do this. You have to be conscious to do this. The cool thing is you just have to be a little conscious to do it. Okay? You only have to be a little conscious to do it. Now, why do I say that? Hey, by the way, this is my belief, okay? And this is what's coming out of me. That is not to say that if I don't believe something and it feels the need to come out, I am going to share, oh, wow, I didn't know that. I'm going to explore that idea, okay? And I may or may not believe it. But boy, I tell you what, if it comes so naturally, I have yet to find one that it didn't like shock me and go, oh, wow, that's the truth. See, the more I go down and get out, the problem with going deep is not a problem. It's getting through the shallow bullshit. It's getting through the social veneer. See, the veil I have is the what's the word? The valence I have is tough guy, cool guy. Man told me a year or two ago, came up to me. It really actually, I honestly think the guy meant it as a compliment. But he's like, bro, have you always been so just like, don't give a fuck attitude? And I actually was like, wow, man, am I so offensive to everyone? Why would he say that? Like, I don't mean to give that off. Not really that bothered about stuff. I seem to be fairly relaxed most of the time. But I thought it was like, how many people get irritated by that attitude, right? So the truth is, it was probably in that environment, I'm a little insecure. The other thing is it insecure? I just don't really want to be there. Because I find most of these meetings they're chewing up time for me. And by chewing up time, it's cool to interact with people, but like, I've done that my whole life for 45 years now. Interacted with people. Where did it get me? Huh? Where did it get me? Look, I had this revelation when I was painting one night. And I'm like, Gary, you're gonna die in 12 months. I think people should ask themselves this question. You were told that you have 12 months to live. What are you gonna do? As soon as I said that, there were two things to handle my kids. And the next thing is I would paint every day. Every day. Could not believe that. That was a year and a half ago, okay? Maybe a year ago. By the way, that's in this session. See, I need somebody to be able to go through these sessions and grab all the video and the audio and AI the shit out of them. We can pick and choose these things. I remember saying that. Oh, by the way, I am starting to see quotes of things I'm saying I have never heard or read before. And I'm painting things that have been painted before, and I have never studied art. I cannot explain this to you, but I literally opened a book I've had for 30 years. I've never opened it. When I go to stores, sometimes I see books, $15. I'm like, okay, I'll buy that. Encyclopedias, and it was one on art. Where is that thing? Big O. Oh, here it is. Here it is. Now, I've never read one of these books, okay? I've never studied the color wheel. I refuse to do it. And the reason is I was trying to prove that there have probably been more artists on this planet. In fact, there's been more doctors. Let's not use that one. It's a little sensitive. But there's been more artists on this planet that never knew what the color code was or read a book. And I just figured, hey, look, I think you know what, I've actually become an expert in 4 areas, and it requires about 5,000 to 10,000 hours. If I put 10,000 hours into art, I bet I can become a great artist. I was 57 at the time. I said, I am an artist, and I started painting. The other day, a man was in my home who has millions and millions of dollars worth of art. And he'd never really had been here or had much time to be here. And he walked in my home. He had a few hours. And as soon as he walked in, he went, Jesus Christ, dude. Because he sees, I'm running out of room. My house is pretty much filled with this stuff now. And where was I going with this? I'm sitting here, and he came for a different reason, but we're talking about the art, and I'm like, wow, this is really happening, man. Okay, this man's going to buy one of these paintings. Like he'll pay $500,000 for a painting, not even think about it. And I mean, I'm trying to get to the meat of the discussion and why he came over, and he's still looking like he's wanting to take pictures and audio. Hey, let me call my art guy up. And I'm like, you need to put, I mean, he went so far, hey, dude, if you need to put me as your trustee. If you die, dude, I'll come and just grab all this stuff and make sure it gets sold out properly. Well, I'm like, oh my God, man, this is happening. The funny thing is, it doesn't surprise me. It like all it's doing is confirming. Do some more. Then B. After you figure out who you are, okay? And the best way for me to figure out who I am is who am I not? Okay? I am not. Because with being who you truly are, with who I truly am, I mean, I've had to make some sacrifices here, okay? But for me, it's not a sacrifice. It's an investment. I'm not sacrificing my time going out with girls that want to party and hang out, and I'm not sacrificing. I'm investing my time in solitude. Solitude. The answers are in the quiet, man. They're not in a bar. They're not in you. I mean, listen, I love sleeping with a woman, okay? I love losing myself in a woman. Wow. I do. I lose myself, man. I've always I like the smashing of two entities, I think it's awesome. Two spiritual, especially if they're spiritual. Problem is for me, it's not something that's sustainable. It doesn't. I need that smashing on a regular basis, man. I need to be like my heart muscle, my being needs to be true. It needs to be true to myself. And how can I possibly be myself if I spend so little time focused on the one of one? Instead, I'm doing this. I'm pointing my fingers at you. Up, you were late. Up, you're critical. Up. And as soon as I start doing that, and this is why I like critical people and people that don't like me, because I get to then respond to how I'm responding to them. And my response to my own response, wow, did I just say that? My response to someone that's critical to me has another feature to it if I'm willing to actually become an adult and grow up, is that I can observe. I am the observer, observing me responding to some guy that's critical of me. Now, I can watch this interplay, the ego Gary saying, I am going to make him wrong. Okay, Joe's not wrong. Okay, Joe's just, we're all on different continuums, okay? Joe is not completely wrong. Joe is completely right for his viewpoint on his I amness and where his intentions are and how he thinks about the world. And the lady that hurt me, you know, she was doing her deal, man. She was just following her formula. I get to step back and observe myself's behavior. It's okay. You don't need to pay someone $500 to tell you you're being a dick. I think it's quite like, if you can't separate yourself and go, you know, that what I said sounded harsh. I could have said that better. Ooh, I sound like a narcissist little bitch. I sound like a know-it-all. Ooh, I sound angry. Ooh, I sound like a little Karen. It's okay, man. You did admit it, acknowledge the Karen in you, and then you get to be somebody else, right? You get to be who you are. Rationalization. I got to tell you, okay, when I get scared, when I'm scared to do something, it's always about the future. If you've not really thought about it this way, I would encourage you to write that down. Fear is always about the future. Shame, guilt, and sadness are about the past. While we're worried about the past and the present, we're sitting here just pissing all over the present, okay? So for me, I have very little shame, guilt, or sadness. I don't get stuck. It's what's made me a really good trader, investor. I don't get stuck on a deal. And I most certainly don't get stuck on money. And I've never gotten stuck on a human being. I've had so many losses in my life. You lose your dad at 9. You lose your brother at 20. I was 20. At 24, I am going to get married to the woman of my dreams at 25. And like, I come home one day, she's gone, dude. I don't see this chick for about 4 years. Yeah. Don't see her for 4 years. Don't hear from her for 2. And then find out 20 years later, the reason she left was she got pregnant and aborted the child because she just couldn't confront it. And regrets it every day. So I've gone through life with like a lot of killing, man, a lot of losses. Okay. And you learn, oh, wow, shit happens, dude. Okay. This is a lonely place. Now, I am not a victim of any of this. This was the journey. This was the journey, man. It wasn't my fault. I didn't make it. That happened to me. Part of my journey. what am I going to learn from it? Okay. I have to look back at it and go, oh, wow, no shit, I hadn't been good at relationships. No shit. I never had one counselor, millions of dollars, one counselor ever say, bro, massive loss at 9, massive loss at 20. We were just almost wrote it off to 25-year-old brother, dude, dead in an oil accident. And then 5 years later, and I never ever put this together until I started doing this stuff. I have Gloria, who I was like, dude, I brought her to my mom's house. I know she got pregnant the night I was at my mom's. My mom loved her, and I'm starting my career in energy. I'm 25 years old. Okay, dumb as a bag of rocks. Have no clue that my life is getting ready to explode, and she just walks, dude. I mean, she was with me 2 days and just. Come home, the apartment's empty. Nothing. Silence. I grew up I was born with a twin, an identical twin. We fought over the same milk and space and whatever. I most certainly am a one of one. Okay, we are really, really different people. I have the perspective that I came into this world, even as a twin, all by myself, dude. I will most certainly leave this planet all by myself. And the truth is, I think I have lived most of my life by myself, surrounded by a lot of people and a lot of noise. And the reason I say that is I look at my 2 daughters who I just absolutely adore. Okay. I learned about love by having a daughter. That would happen in 2007. On one day, I'd be like, oh my God, I really felt the spirit of the universe, man. I felt what I had been reading in these books about love all my life. I'm like, that's what I want. I've never gotten that. But when I met this young girl, this little being, I was like, God dang, dude, this is awesome. Something I helped create, right? Something perfect and pure. Not socially constipated, not minimizing, not rationalizing, not criticizing, just looking at the little perfect thing. And no wonder, though, I couldn't keep a relationship, right? I'm constantly been, oh shit, man, people leave all the time. So I'm a loner. Like I have learned to survive. I have learned to survive exactly like my mother. And survival doesn't really require me to depend on other people. In fact, every time I do, I got to wake up and go, I have a problem to deal with. Now, I love people, okay? I love people. However, and I didn't mean to go off on the whole thing about the kid having so many deaths, but it does shape a person's kind of thought process about everything they're doing. And I have most certainly become a protective, forward-facing. I don't really need you. If you're my partner, I'm a great partner. I think I am. Maybe ask partners until you let me down. That's why, like when I said love has no motive or bad intent behind it, like love has no. I would probably find it difficult to do business today. That's why I love Bitcoin. I don't have to have anybody in it because I don't want any motives in my life. I don't want any monetary motives. I think it's going to change the color of things. The intention for me is to prove a few things on this planet. If I had, I'll tell you, I'm terrified to write a book. I don't think I'm really terrified to write a book. I'm lazy. I'm scared about the time and energy it's going to take, and I'm scared about what I'm going to learn, quite frankly. Knowing full well that if I was to be the observer on this little conversation right here, what the fuck are you talking about, dude? You can help a lot of people, man. Okay, and I have this little rationalization here. Go, oh, people that write books, that like the ego, but it's a false humility, right? It's not a good. It's a bit of a shame thing, but I do worry about the time it would take, and more importantly, I am authentically, honestly telling you, I'm scared what I'm going to learn. And I'm effectively writing a book right now, but because I'm doing this on the fly and it's happening. Man, 11:30 already. Really appreciate you guys listening and being here. And there's 3,600 people sitting in a room listening on a Sunday. You're investing time and energy into a different thing, a different way. Like we have not, our parents didn't do this, man. Our parents didn't do this. This is the only thing that I can tell you. And I get this question all the time. Hey, how can you explain you and your brothers? I don't know about my brother. How can, the success coming from nothing? I can only say that this work here, man, I wish I'd have done it more professionally, because what I'm doing, I know how to actually create a program. But it's been really unbelievable. And so we have so many people in the room. Every morning, what I'll do when I start this, and I did say that it's going to sound like this is all about me. I'm going to say I am great. These are I don't want to really use the word affirmation. Okay, affirmations for me are a little bit like gasoline. They only last so long. What I'm trying to do is seed. I'm trying to go into my soil and find out, hey, what is natural to be grown in Gary's garden? What foundation is Gary made up of? And by the way, this will change at stages in one's life, right? More knowledge, less knowledge, whatever, right? So a different experience, it's all knowledge. People think in terms of pockets of windows and time, but in fact, I think you're remembering adventures and experiences. Okay, experiences is the knowledge. Whether it's accurate knowledge or not is one thing. Your impressions all my impressions I got from my family. My family, look, I rarely ask anyone for help. It's a fault of mine. Okay, I'll bet you my brother doesn't do it either. Don't know this to be a fact, but I bet you he doesn't. And guess who we discovered that from? My mom. It's horrible that we don't allow another person to help us, because we're really scared that I'll owe you something. That's the deal. Ooh, I'll owe you something. Or you'll be able to call me one day and go, hey, I'm calling in my favor. Which is really bizarre, because I never do that to anyone else. And not one human being's ever received a phone call from me going, hey, I need you to pay me back on that, what I helped you over there. I just don't do that. Okay. As I started this morning, I sit down, grab a coffee, and and I'm getting prepared. I'm tilling my soil in preparation for this, because again, I am simply a brush. I was told to be here, and I don't think I'm a genius. I most certainly don't know almost anything. In fact, I am certain I know so little. I know less than anybody that I listen to thinks they know. Seriously, Everyone. Like I just know that I don't know. Awesome. It is an awesome place to be. I started writing down. I'm just going to read a few things, because I think it'll be interesting for you to see how I do my I ams. These flow through me. I'm not using this. I do not believe I do anything here. I can pretend like all that shit's going on. There's no feelings or emotions in here. What's 1 + 1? Dude, I can tell you right here. It's 2, dude. I didn't do it here, okay? I mean, I'm sure there's something going on here, but this is me right here, okay? It's all of me. I was in a store yesterday and a guy said, "Hey, man, are you a painter?" I said, "Oh, how'd you know, man?" "Oh, wow, am I famous?" He said, "No, I just looked at your jeans." My daughters are like, "Dad, you wear your painted jeans everywhere." And I'm like, I think I have paint on all of my jeans now. Anyway, so I start writing these things down. I am Gary Cardone, an artist, a creator, a disruptor, philosopher, a warrior. Even when I wrote it down, I'm like, bro, sounds a little weird, sounds arrogant, sounds all about you. And when I speak it to you, it's like, ooh, there's still a guy, man, hangs out. There's a guy hangs out and said, dude, you can't say, hey, I am a fucking warrior. Let's just go through each one of them, okay? I've been saying I am a warrior since I was 20, 22. There isn't anybody that I know that knows me that wouldn't say, oh, check. Like, I think it's a badge of honor to die more. Even if the war is fucking bullshit. If you die in honor, dude, if you die with the intention of doing the right thing, wow. I think that's like bang, bang. Hey, get this, okay? I watched 1917 last night with my sister, and a guy won a medal, Medal of Honor. He gave it to a German or somebody in a bar, and another guy looked at him and says, hey, man, why would you give your Medal of Honor away to somebody in a bar? And the guy said, I was thirsty and they were serving beer. He didn't give a fuck about that medal. I think that's awesome. So for me, hey, being a warrior is awesome. I've turned into a great warrior. Problem is there are very few wars worth fighting over anymore. In fact, I'd say there are none. Philosopher. I said the word philosopher. Now, I'm scared and ashamed to say that I would much prefer the title philosopher than business guy. What creature like me would deserve to use the word philosopher? I have C- average. Didn't really study that much. Most certainly didn't study Socrates and Plato. Barely know anything about anything. And I'm talking about being a philosopher. I'll tell you why I say that, because I admire every man who's ever said something profound and had the fucking guts to stick it out on the line. This is what I believe. The colossal thank you to the universe of a human being to stand up on a podium, a platform, to look at the world and say, I believe something is like this, and to proclaim it, write it, and preach it, and to have the world laugh at him, right or wrong, man, dude. And if he's right and it helps people, there is no greater label, job, role, title, prime minister, fuck off, president of the United States. How about philosopher, a thinker, a helper of mankind? A disruptor. This is one line, by the way. Okay, you want to do the I ams like me? If you want the results of I am like I'm getting, okay, I made more money in the last 2 years doing this and have traveled 1/10 of what I traveled the prior year and about 1/30th of what I traveled 4 years ago. And everything I'm doing here is making me richer, better, faster, more efficient, more likable, more lovable. I see the world as a nicer place. I see every human being today in a way I have never, ever seen human beings. I am the least critical I have ever been, the least judgmental and fearful of human beings than I have ever been in my entire life. And I most certainly grew up in a racist environment, as I believe everyone does. And I believe, in fact, everyone is racist. I don't want to get into that, but I think there are going to be people that are scared of my race. And what is my race? My race is I am. I am proclaiming that this is all that you have to do. You don't have to go to school. You don't have to be rich. You don't have to work for somebody. You don't have to be married. You don't have to have a girlfriend. You don't have to have a boyfriend. You don't even have to have a fucking buddy. You need to befriend yourself and get to know your buddy, man, the maker, okay? I am a disruptor. Most certainly not a human being's going to. I've been saying I am a disruptor my whole life. You know why? Because no one was going to let me in their club. It was very clear to me, dude. And the truth is, you may have heard me say this. It took me 3 years to get a lunch with ExxonMobil, and I'm spending $500,000 a month with them or something. It did take a long time to get a lunch with ExxonMobil. But the truth is, I was never going to work for ExxonMobil anyway. See, this is the way people conflate messaging. Oh, ExxonMobil really made it hard for me because I speak funny and I'm not part of the club. Let's be really honest, okay? I didn't want to be a part of their club. Ever. And they knew it. Like, I'm the one sending the signals out. Remember the valence? The valence I talk about? I talk about, the monopolies. Dude, if the monopolies weren't around, I wouldn't have any fun. I really wouldn't. Visa, MasterCard, I made so much money with them. And criminal as they are, I enjoyed just beating the shit out of them. I mean, I could go, you hear me talk quite a bit about it because I think they're really bad companies. I think the whole construct of that financial bridge that they told you was banking is scummy. It's scummy because it preys on weak people. People get paid $700,000. Wells Fargo, dude. Fucking pick on somebody your own size. Okay, come knock my ass off. Lena Khan, pick on someone your own size. Welcome to New York. I am Gary Cardone. I can't disagree with that. Can anyone else? An artist, a creator, okay? I am becoming these things, okay? I am a powerful instrument and weapon. I don't know why I use the word. For me, I need to have some kinetic power behind it, okay? I do feel like a weapon. Look, justice and honor and righteousness and goodness, they can be used as weapons. I don't need to hurt anybody. I don't need to criticize and be shameful of anyone. Okay, these are not effective long-term weapons. To neutralize the enemy without kinetic energy is a super fucking talent. Okay, to neutralize an opposing force, excuse me, an opposing force without kinetic energy is a superpower. Now, if you guys are just sitting there going, hey, I am making $1,800 a week, dude, you're going to, like, my I ams are much bigger than that, okay? Your $1,800 isn't the problem. It's you, okay? As soon as you clean up I mean, listen to what I just said, man. Okay. If I can learn how to neutralize an opposing force without using kinetic energy. Now, kinetic energy or negative energy. Okay. Kinetic meaning too much power, too much force, physical, or too much energy, too much emotion or too much force mentally or mentally or emotionally. But if I'm able to neutralize an opposing force without using an opposing force, I think that's a superpower. Okay? A super freaking power. I am conscious. That has to be one of the lines that you just go ahead and become a little habitual ritual robotic repeater. I am conscious. Please say that to yourself right now. Just close your eye. I am conscious and aware. Okay, just keep dropping that statement on yourself twice a day if you can. Sooner or later, okay, you're going to find little pieces that you start opening up. None of us are conscious, folks. We are so shut down, it's unbelievable. When was the last time anyone on a team, on a company, or in your family said, hey, let's just focus on self, okay? I am powerful, okay? And it's not about the $1,800. It's about I am, okay? I am a powerful instrument, weapon for and of truth, glory, and goodness. I am a great leader, a giant of a being. Now, I have said I am a great leader. Again, these are what I'm not saying I'm a great leader this second. Okay? I am telling myself I am a great leader as if I am that great leader today, but it puts me on the path that tomorrow, guess what? Tomorrow is going to be. Tomorrow is going to be today. And today, when it shows up, I get to say, I am conscious. I am a great leader. And guess what's going to happen? I'm going to run into a book about being a great leader. Or I'm going to run into someone that makes me conscious or more conscious. You know how that consciousness may show up? It's the one that you guys bitch about all the time. It's called emotion. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Those things, like anger and fear and insecurity and guilt and shame. Let's see what else we got. Hesitation, fear, hesitation, and delay and doubt are a human potential with zero action. It's a fucking waste of thought. I mean, an absolute waste of thought. You guys repost the room. I'm going to grab a coffee because I'm not jacked up enough. Another one I wrote down here is I am the journey. I want you to write that down, okay? I've never done that before. I've never said that statement. I said it I am the journey, dude. I'm the theme park, okay? You're the actor. You're the producer. You're the stage. You're the audience, too. You're the only fucking audience that matters, actually. Your friends don't matter. Like, I don't care. Like, I need to get to a point where I am okay with you not being okay. I need to be okay with I probably need to be okay with Why does anyone pretend to be not 100% themselves? I don't know. I'm asking myself, how did I get to this position? How did I get to the position where I wouldn't be myself in the first place? Why is it at 67 years old, I'm sitting on a camera talking to 4,000 or 5,000 people going, hey, man, why are we having to talk about who we are? We don't know who we are. What the heck? There isn't a human being on this watching this thing, dude, that knows who they are. In fact, I would say that the earnings, the accounting of all these public companies, all the inventories they do every quarter, all the reporting, these fraudulent, crazy, insane companies that sell poison, they know more about their inventory than you do. They're the enemy, folks. They know more about in fact, they know more about their own inventory, and they know more about you than you know about yourself. Wow. Wow. The enemy actually spends time studying human error, human frailty, human weakness. I am a beast. Okay. This is why I have to do this, because other people, dude, know thy enemy. The Art of War is a book that every human being should get. Get The Art of War. I always forget to say his name, but The Art of War. There's only one of them. The Art of War. Okay, you get that book. It says, know thyself. Everyone else says, hey, know thy enemy, know thy enemy, know thy enemy. Dude, you most certainly need to know the enemy, but you also need to know yourself first. You have to know self, because the self, look, the enemy is usually within. Look, the enemy is usually within. Most certainly, when I'm doing this and pointing my fingers at the absurdity, insanity, and stupidity of humanity, I am not looking at myself. I am not looking at my lack of tolerance, my lack of willingness to educate others. Willing, oh, I'm willing. Yeah, but you didn't. You didn't educate him. Oh, you were willing. Yeah, well, the system's just so difficult. I mean, wouldn't want to break any laws. And gosh, that client doesn't like me doing those Sunday morning things. They just canceled our agreement. Oh, maybe I should stop the Sundays, huh? Hey, somebody offered me $1 million a week to do something else on Sundays. What should I do? $1 million a week. Someone is going to offer me $1 million a week one day to do something else. What should I do? Oh, by the way, that's an I am. Okay. What I just said, someone will offer me. What should I do? Somebody offers me $1 million a week, $52 million a year to do this thing. What should I do? Should I take it? I am a good leader, a giant of a being. Now, I wrote that last piece in there because it's a little push for me. See, that one didn't come out naturally for me. I said, I am a great leader. I am a great leader, okay? And in fact, I'm a better leader when shit hits the fan, okay? When it gets serious, get me out of bed. Until then, I'm probably going to be a little frustrated. Because, you know, the cool thing is when it gets serious, everybody steps out the way. There's no debates. And the main guy always shows up. And he's always the main guy. It's just the way it is. And that's the only way you're going to learn how to be a main guy, is to see another main guy. So guess what I have to do, dude? I know that. You are not going to just imagine. You need to see a Clint Eastwood. Make my day. You need to see a Matthew McConaughey. Let's go, let's go, let's go. All right, all right, all right. The right thing to do is the right thing. All right, all right, all right. Come on, man. You look at Plato and go, wow, what a cool cat, dude. You look at someone that wrote something that was beautiful or created something. You know, I read something last night. It was about some great artist. He said, you know, artists don't copy the visible. I never heard this. I thought it was amazing because I don't copy. I mean, I can't do like an Apple. I just, or what's it called? Fixed scenes or something like that. I don't do reality. And he says, hey, look, we're not copying, what was the word he used? We're not copying what's visible. We're making it visible. We're making it visible. And he was talking about, I can't remember I'll figure out the artist, but he's a guy that he studied perfect, you know, real art. And then he went out in nature and he started seeing nature, and his art got infused with the differences. And he made this comment. He said, you know, I look at a plant and mankind does not see really the beauty or the art in that plant, in that wildlife, in the universe, in the nature. They don't see that. So I draw it and they see it. It's like, wow, man. See, artists are great teachers, man. Okay, artists are great teachers. The art here, think what you may of it. Okay, you're going to think it's going to elicit some response to you. Okay, I mean, I have people, hey, what are these guys? Who are these guys? What do they mean to you? What's the classes about? And my answer is always the same. Hey, what are they about for you, dude? Like, what does it mean to you? Okay. See, I love this painting. What's its meaning? It has a meaning to me. You guys figure it out. Okay. My little guy right there. Six months ago, I couldn't even show you my art. 3 months ago, I cared if somebody said something about it. Now I don't even ask anybody if they like it or not. I've learned that's a loser, man. Oh, by the way, wow, this is magic. An hour and 27 minutes. I am sorry. I am going to go another 30 minutes. I am not going to be offended if people leave. I know you got stuff to do. Watch it later, whatever. I am a giant of a being. The reason I said that, it's scary for me to say that, but I know that is true. I know it's true. Okay. It is true. And I'm not saying I'm a giant above other people or other giants, but in this area, like I was put here for a reason. And this isn't me. I mean, it's not like, oh, look, I was gifted. All I'm doing is reading, studying self. Okay, that's all I'm doing. I am testing a thesis and it's working exceptionally well without any of the outside influence of the world that got us here. At least got me here. Okay, at least got my parents here. Look, if we've all been lied to about history, then we know nothing about who we are. And I know there'll be some people here that say, hey, I have a book and it tells me exactly about history. And I'm going to say, I need to tell you is the brush. That is not true. There are no books that define our perfect existence, how we got here, what we're doing here, what our purpose is, small deviations in historical facts create a complete and utter future, a retarded reality of what actually happened, much less where you are. So I have to do this inventory. Okay. The enemy is doing the inventory. I got to learn who I am. If I don't learn who I am, I'm going to die on my grave, dude. I'm going to die on my grave unhappy. I am going to die on my grave in my bed going, wow, I could have written a book to help one human being. One. I have a housekeeper who has been with me for 17 years. 17 years. And is she the best housekeeper I could ever hire in my whole life? Nope, she's not. She forgets things. But this is what I love about my housekeeper. I have left money. She will tell you, Mr. G does not care about money. I have left money all over this house, and I've never seen her take a penny. But as or more importantly is this woman came from Mexico when she was 15 years old. She's probably been abused. Journey didn't sound fun. All by herself, by the way. Had to figure it out from 15. Coming to a different country, does not speak good English still to this day, or maybe she pretends not to. And guess what? Her son goes to private school, finished private school with straight A's, and is now studying and will create his career. Private school, dude. Illegal housekeeper. That's cool. Okay. See, I probably am more proud that her family, one, they're good people, man. They're awesome. Her son is good and she is a good person. And like, there's no chance I would ever let her go. Like, we're family now, man. She's part of the deal. She has shown me like what's important to her son, man. He's going to school, right? She's a legit human being. Did she come here illegal? Yeah. Probably had a tougher life than most of you guys did, right? But she's legal now. And what a story though, right? That's a story. I like that story that I was able to help someone and they've been able to help me, man. I have razor sharp instincts. This is another one that I like. I'm still 35 minutes in writing, 3 sentences. I have razor sharp instincts. I've been saying this my whole life. I have razor sharp instincts. Okay. Like I do. Like, it's not, even if you're great at something, somebody told me the other day, Tiger Woods would never watch his competition when they were driving on the tee box. He would turn his back. Now, see, he gets it. You don't want to emulate anyone else. You only want to emulate perfection, and you only want to and realize that no human being is perfect, but in areas they may have it honed down like a wire, dude. Now, I don't think I have anything honed down like a wire, but I think there's areas where, if you were going to go do something in 3 or 4 areas, I would be somebody you'd want to like chat with, because like I can go really deep on that. But the rest of the stuff I know nothing about. So guess what? Don't spend any of my time there, dude. That's not where I'm supposed to be. Steve Carella can go do it. Okay. Love and Light. Maybe that's her deal. Okay. Anthony can go. Anthony fills the gap that I'm only going to be mediocre at, but that he's perfect at. Right? For instance, let's say a guy's here and pick a name here. Blockchain Becky. Blockchain Becky says, "Hey Gary, you'd run my business better. I'll give you half my business. You run the business. I'll keep coming up with the great ideas." And she may be right on that. And she would probably give me more than I deserve. The problem is she's going to be very disappointed, because her dream and what she's building, there is no amount of equity or payment she can make to convince me that her dream is bigger than my dream. or more important. Okay. And this is why companies never end up with great, great, great people, because they want you to buy their dream. They want you to buy their dream. Now, me, I don't require anyone to sign a NDA or non-circ or a term of employment. Like, as soon as you're tired of me, by the way, any girlfriend, if I ever get married again, the moment you get tired of me, you don't respect me, you don't want to hang out, just move on. Let me know. And I'll write you a letter of recommendation. Have a great life. I have no interest in trapping anyone. Once you've lost your jism, once you've lost that feeling, man, once you've lost the magic, I mean, it's like you just lost the magic, dude. It's just energy, okay? You deserve to have the magic. If we had the magic, it would be awesome. If everybody was behaving at optimal, maximal level, wow, we'd all be raising our game. Guarantee you I can convince everyone right here that if more people do what I'm doing, I want more people, okay? One, you're going to make me better. I'll start looking around and go, ooh, look at Bob. He's doing really good IMs because I'm competitive. But that's not really my deal right now. But what's look, you need critical masses. You need to be able to see people. I know there's 28-year-old guys sitting here with their 52-year-old fathers going, hey, why didn't you teach me any of this shit, dude? Okay? Like they're looking at him going, whoa, dude, I want that guy as my mentor. Now, look, you guys got to be careful on your dads here. Your dads didn't have this message either. In fact, your fathers, and I'm not letting them off the hook here, okay, because I think many of them have been lazy and irresponsible, and most certainly not as manly as they could be. I don't know anyone that's got a spine they can't add a little firmness to. I most certainly can raise my hand and go, hey, I could be tougher. I could be less of a little Karen. But look, your dads didn't have anything, okay? Their parents didn't do it either. There was no brilliant thinkers of the time. There was only, hey, let's go make trillions of dollars. Most inward thought, most great thinking, most philosophical content comes after periods of duress and stress, and during a reset, when people are beginning to question who, what, and why are they doing what they're doing. And that brings me really, really great comfort in doing this. Not that you need to be comfortable doing this, you need to be uncomfortable. And I will go out of my way to share my discomfort with you. But at some point, back to I am a great, a giant of a being. There are giants, okay? There are people that do things. Dana White, like, he took risk, okay? He put himself out there. Donald Trump put himself out there. I mean, all these people, you like them or don't like them, but they put themselves out there. They felt either hey, I'm going to go chase money. In my case, I am going to chase something that's really, really scary for me to do. See, this for me is the journey because I'm an adventurer, man. I love the excitement. And this was so scary, I knew it was the right thing to do. Okay? Because I don't get passionate about other things. Hey, you want to go make $10 million? How much work is it going to be? I mean, seriously, okay? Gary, you want to make $50 million? Well, I mean, what's it going to require of me? You should ask yourself that, man. Like, oh, I'm going to spend, I'm going into this field. Really? Okay. Well, how you going to stay there 5 years, 10 years, 20 years? Is it going to hold your interest for 10 years? any field, right? I think it's going to take 3 to 5 years to get great at doing anything. That's not very long, man. It's less time than you can build a company. See, this is what I got to. Me building all these businesses, I'm telling you guys, okay? See, I'm perfect for this. A businessman, freaking assassin, killer, shooter, in the most terrifying environments, is sitting here going, hey, all that, man, I could have done a lot better if I'd have done this. I'm perfect for this. I'm the antithesis of a philosopher, right? When I look at all that on a piece of paper as the observer, I'm looking at the guy going, bro, start a church, dude. Your church will be one of one. So tell me, is it ego or purpose? I think you're going to be challenged with this at some point. Oh, I'm really going to stick my neck out that far. People are terrified to be great. Okay. I'm not scared to fail. I don't believe that, dude. I'm scared to be super fucking great. I am. I am. I would say I'm reasonably good friends with Vivek Ramaswamy, and I have no idea why he does what he does. Okay. I couldn't do it, but I'm glad he does. Okay. For sure. Now, because of the way I think about politicians, I can go, oh yeah, he's going to end up being, same old, same old. But the truth is, like, I need a guy at least that you can't not. One, I like him as a leader. He's speaking the right thing. Look, the more I am courageous, the more people like you go, hey man, there's this. See, this is the cool thing about becoming known and important. Imagine if a Vivek, a Dan Bongino, a Pam Bondi, an ex-wife, an ex-partner, whatever, they run into one of these and they go, whoa, dude, that guy's not crazy, man. He's got a lot of success and he's sitting there for 2 hours in a Sunday morning talking about looking within. Every person that I know that runs businesses will tell you their biggest problem is people. And yet they don't spend $1 million a year sending people to programs like this. Every business guy that's on here should be calling me up and going, dude, can you bring your shit to a weekend corporate thing and talk to my entire team? Seriously. This is the problem. It's not, they don't know how to read the business sales manual. Okay. They're not inspired, dude. They're not doing their purpose, their true purpose in life. And so you end up with a bunch of mediocre people. They're angry. They hate their boss. They're actually conspiring to hurt you. They most certainly will not be operating at optimal level, much less max level. And then imagine them meeting a guy like me. These guys want to make $210,000 and be at home at 5 p.m. so they can have their cheap beer and watch their TV, man. They do not want to compete with me. Why? They say, I am a corporate warrior. I am an oil guy. Cool, dude. But you ain't a warrior. You're not a disruptor. I am an instrument for good, for light, for truth. Remember, I am not bragging on Gary. I'm writing these down because they came to me. They went right through my hand. I am an instrument for good. I really wanted to say God. For light, for truth. I am a great warrior. Do it again, dude. I stick the I am a great warrior in. Anytime I have a big one, like I am an instrument for good and light, for truth, I am a great warrior. Because you know what? There cannot possibly be any greater thing for a human being to do, especially one that can communicate to large masses of people, to be an instrument of good, light, and truth. Come on. You show me a million human beings that wake up every morning and say, I am an instrument. I am an awesome, razor sharp, invincible instrument for good, for light, and for truth. You're telling me our world wouldn't improve tomorrow morning? There's no greater honor to be a great warrior, in my opinion. I just, if I had one wish, one, like I want to know the truth. I want to know the truth about my every part of my beingness. Okay. I feel like I'm feeling embarrassed with going on so long. See, this is weird. Okay. I'm giving my time away free. You guys can drop. Yet I know you can drop. You can just go, dude, that guy's just fucking narcissistic. But I'm one. Well, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to keep talking. You guys can leave, but here, you guys think I'm a really strong personality. Yet I'm telling you, I'm sitting here going, oh wow, look, it's 12:16 here. You've been going an hour and a half. They're going to think you're like crazy, and I'm like, dude, you're giving it away free. I mean, what do you care? They can leave. Okay, like, hey, I ain't crazy, dude. If I'm crazy, all you guys are nuts. Okay, because this shit goes on all the time. Okay, people do this all the time. This is why we're here. And what does that mean? Why we're here? This is how we got to this shit show, man. This is the most sane thing that most of us are going to do the entire week. Just taking the time to reflect. You know, if you did nothing, I was with a man, he's 52 years old yesterday. Really like this guy. Met him about 6 months ago. I looked at him and I said, hey, let me ask you a question, man. He's been in business all his life by himself. Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you spent 1 hour by yourself? No phone, no cigarettes, no coffee, nothing, dude. No noise. And by the way, you're not thinking about the next deal. He looked at me and went, whoa, I've never done that, man. Whoa. Most human beings in the West have never spent 1 hour by themselves. If you have not spent, and this is a exercise you can't store. You can't store this shit, okay? You can't, hey, I spent an hour 30 years ago, man. I spent $1 million with blah group, and, that was 10 years ago. Dude, I am conscious right this moment. I am aware of self. And if you haven't spent an hour and years in solitude and quietude, if there's such a word, if there is such a word, we should erase it because it's hard to pronounce, but quietness. I know no greater thing to strive for, but to understand, I would really love, before my little heart stops, to know that I am something more than a piece of meat. I am most certain I am, because I know that I'm operating at a very, very tiny fraction of what I could be operating at. And that means so is true for you. Like I believe I am the spirit, a God, a package of energy that is so immense. And I've tapped only shreds of it, just little chips of it. Okay. I want to see this. I know there is a bright, massive light inside of me. It's not a light, it's energy. Okay. And it gets suppressed and oppressed and blanketed and discounted. And every time I'm scared, I don't let the light out. Scared you're going to hurt me. Scared you're going to take something away from me. Scared that whole religious group will come attack me. I had somebody say that the other day. Hey, man, you want that group after you? I'm like, no, dude, I don't want any groups after me. Why would someone ask me if I want a group? I bitched about the Catholics 10 years ago when they were raping little children. I grew up Catholic. And now nobody started calling me up going, hey man, chill out, bro. You're talking, do you really want the heat of the Israeli Mossad or whoever? I don't even know what the religions and the non-religions are in this group, but I'm like, seriously, dude. Like, no, I don't want the heat, man. But like, why are you getting all jacked up if there's no problems here? Okay, if there's no problems, undergo an audit and let's move on. If you want to kill me, come kill me, man. You want to shut me down, come shut me down. I am not going to shut up, okay? Look, and this is where we got into the conflict yesterday on this black and white versus gray thing. Look, for me, it is black and white. For me, it is most certainly black and white. I am either a prostitute or I'm not. I am not for sale at any price, no matter what. If someone comes to me and says, Gary, your daughter or save the world? A typical Tom Cruise thing. Your daughter or the wife or save the world? What's the right answer? See, I think most humanity would be compromised. 99.99999%. And I'm sharing with my friend that said he'd never spent an hour. Now, this weekend, he's listening. I guarantee he's listening. He's an awesome human being. And but I guarantee you, see, he's an action cat. He will, by this evening, spend an hour by himself. I guarantee you, just to try it. And by the way, for you guys that are trying it, okay, it is going to be very uncomfortable. If you think it's going to be fun, you won't do it a second time. It's not going to be fun. It's going to be just uncomfortable. And the reason is because you don't even have a muscle for it. Pretty crazy, right? You have read your auto manual and your dishwashing manual, your wash disher, your dryer, your dildo, your Apple, and all the toys you have, your Xbox games. You know, you've read that manual more than you've read the manual of self. Seriously, okay? I have dictionaries all over here. Like, learn the dictionary of yourself, man. So I said this was going to go along, and in doing this, when I started doing this, I had this image or this package of information that I never really shared with anyone. I don't always share everything. Okay. I think some things can be taken out of context if they're not wrapped with a little bit of a story behind it. When I first started doing this, though, I was instructed to do this. And on a Saturday, I get a package of information. I was doing something. I asked a question, and an answer came back, and it was, "Hey, go start this thing." And of course, being the good warrior student that I am, I do it the next morning. I'm like, okay, done. I mean, when these packets come to me, that they're I never call them packets really, but it is more like a packet, but it's a flow of energy, and it's just a message. Now, I've been getting these messages my whole life. Whether I listen to them and follow through is different, but I think I've gotten a lot more of these messages than I've been aware of. And that is why I say the word I am conscious and aware. I am highly, highly conscious. The mistake with doing that is in order for you to become conscious, you have to become conscious of the blocks for you. And there are all these emotions: fear, shame, guilt, anger, all of it. Okay. And so then I've got to look for red flags that light up. Oh shoot, I'm not me. I'm doing someone else. I'm actually behaving like someone else. Okay. It is my valence, right? Oh, the tough guy. The tough guy can't be running a church, can he? See, it's antithesis. But the antithesis, the fear of me being not warrior-like, of being love-like, whoa. See, I've never been that way. I've been the opposite. Not that I've ever hurt people. Well, maybe I have. I mean, I have hurt people. If I'm in a game with you, dude, it's like, but it's a game. See, the other guy takes it seriously. Now, maybe because he's going to lose his job, but I'm like, well, dude, this is a game. I mean, the game I play is a sum zero game. Okay, zero sum game. The game I play, I don't make a product and then mark it up 20%. The world that I got wealthy in was financial war, man. I mean, it happened to be with electrons, but it was just freaking war. Basically winners and losers. A gambling house. Wow, I'm so resistant to say this, but when I started doing this on the first Sunday, it was very clear to me. It's still clear to me. Don't know exactly what it means, but I'm not really doing this for today. I'm actually feeling like I'm being really prepared. In fact, I'd go further. We are being prepared for something we're going to have to deal with. Now, I don't really know what that means, except that I actually am feeling the energy on this planet has changed, okay? Well, at least the energy for me has changed. In the last, especially 3 months, man, my sleep has completely altered. Okay, I mean, it's freaky how weird the energy is for me. I am more powerful than I have ever been in my entire life. I feel like I have the finest energy running through me. I've never felt this before. Okay. It's been a little hard. The energy waves have been really crazy too. It's not all awesome. I know this is going to sound like Gary's crazy, but look, I'm not slurring. I'm not on drugs. I have been very good. In fact, ask any three of my 3 wives. It's funny, I've always wanted to put down on my ego titles a futurist, but I have been really exceptionally spot on with, incoming wave of shit, man. Something's happening. I've been really, really, really good at it. Whether it's a COVID thing or a market thing or a financial thing, something's getting something. In fact, I'll go so far as say in the next 6 months, our lives are completely different than they are today. Completely. Maybe I'm out another 6 months, but I think something monstrous, eye-awakening, spirit-shaking, reality disrupting set of events or occurrence that will really, really require and find this particular setting and me useful. I am a powerhouse. I am full of passion. Okay. Now, for me, man, if it doesn't have any passion, I'm not going to do it. And no one can give me passion. No project can give me passion. This is self-generated. Passion is only generated by self, man. And by the way, passion is like not the willing. Look, obsession has been awesome for me. Remember I said earlier, hey, I am, lean heavily toward an addictive personality. I love that, man. Embrace it, dude. Quit calling it a problem. Obsession has made me hundreds of millions of dollars. It's allowed me to beat people into the ground that had like massive advantages over me. The passion, okay? That's the problem with people that have too much. They're not passionate. It's just, okay, we'll go do it. Okay, let me start wrapping up. I wrote down here that one of the things I wanted to do was share with you some of my wins, and I think I've done that, but a year ago, I wouldn't even tell anybody that I was trying to be an artist. Now, I can't stop talking about it. And, the funny thing is, I knew as soon as I said the words, I am a great artist. By the way, I literally wrote down this 5 years ago. I am a great artist. In fact, I wrote down, I will die being known as an artist, not as a businessman. It just became really important to me. It's like, wow, man, that for me would be much cooler than being a billionaire. Wow, and now the art's leading me to philosophy, or the philosophy's leading me to the art, one or the other. But man, I'm telling you, they are linked. Everything that's happening to me right now is linked, actually. And 2-3 years ago, I was beat up like a dog, man. Beat up like a dog. And I will share one day. I'll probably do a whole session. I mean, you guys, you're just looking at what you see, but like I was beat up like a dog, okay? I mean, where all I could do was hunker down and focus on self. And there's no shame in that. It was a warrior. Dude, this was a military exercise. If you feel ashamed about looking within, let me tell you, I feel no shame whatsoever, okay? It's a military survival exercise. When you have an enemy, like I did, and the only mistake I made, folks, there is always an enemy out there. And he lives in your undies. He lives between your ears and between everything else that you don't know anything about. You know more about the car you're driving than the skin you're wearing. You know more about the car you're driving than the F-35 that you are, the F-16, the B-52. This is the way I think of myself and other people. I mean, I look at my brother sometimes like, God damn, dude. I mean, still, he's running half, maybe less. He is this spectacular weapons operating system. And still, the fucking guy's flying all over the place, okay? And I say that with tremendous appreciation and respect for what he's done. But, like, I don't fully know the operating manual. So guess what? I go places that I shouldn't be, or I shoot things off that, oops, that was a mistake. Oops. point I'm trying to make is I think every human being is extremely complex, rich operating system, a unique piece of equipment that has the ability to imagine. A human being has the ability to imagine. I am not certain that a virus or a bacteria or a rock or a plant actually can imagine. I don't know for sure that they don't, because I actually believe they're all living at some level, some frequency. By the way, I think life is frequency. I think it has nothing to do with the heartbeat. It's frequency. I am a frequency. As soon as I acknowledge I am a frequency, man, I feel so much freedom. And as soon as I understand there are different harmonics of frequencies and there's different frequencies, I get to choose them. I'm going to be a really positive, ionic energy stream that's extremely bright. Not a little dim, but like, hey, why would I want to be super bright? I'd want to be super bright so that other people didn't think it was so lonely. That other people could find it safer to move out of the gray and into whatever is black or white for them, into whatever is right or wrong. And by the way, black and white or right and wrong, I don't really believe in the black and white. Okay, but the right and wrong part, every human being knows. I don't need to teach you about what's right and wrong. I can teach you that every time you build a story and a rationalization and justifications for anything, and let me not say you, but anytime I begin to rationalize or justify, give you a reason why I should be gray or rational or, logical. By the way, if you haven't heard the song by Supertramp, the Logical Song, there's great meaning in that, okay? Hey, they teach you how to be analytical, critical, but you lose yourself. I lost myself, okay? Myself is like, I am not a dishonest human being, okay? I do not operate with bad people. I don't mislead. I don't conflate. I am honest. Because I will never be happy. I wrote this down as we were starting, but I will never be happy being someone else. I will never be happy being someone else. And that doesn't mean that I will never be happy believing in what other people believe in, but I will never be happy being someone else. I can only be happy in self. If you're unhappy, guess what? It's an indicator. One, there is no happy definition. No human being is going to give you a definition of happy. So, I don't know why people even chase the happy. Why do you chase the happy? I want to chase the discomfort. You must chase the discomfort. I don't think this. Oh, there we are. Okay, where did I want to leave this? I wanted to leave it in one place. Give me a few minutes. Hang with me if you could. First thing. All right. First thing is discomfort, unhappiness, discontent, anger, rage, shame, guilt, criticizing others. Okay, criticizing others in your own internal dialogue or externally, being angry, judging others. These are indicators of areas that are ripe for you. Your being is sending you messages, dude. Okay, do that. And going, hey, you're straying off course. Go toward the fear, go toward the discomfort. When you're critical of someone, if you're sitting there going, dude, he's an idiot. I don't like that thing in his teeth, or his skin looks shit, or whatever Gary's ego maniac. If you're saying all that stuff, it's cool, dude. I expect people, look, I'm saying it to myself about myself. It's scary for me to do this. Okay. I have a part of me that does not want to do this. They do not want to be seen. So do you. Okay. So do you. I mean, look, there's a part of me that can't even spell my last name correctly. Right. That's it. You say it's not a big deal, dude. It's an error. That's an error. I must have been thinking about something else. I wasn't focused. It's a little thing, okay? And I'm not like a Mr. Freak detail guy over all this stuff, okay? But all these emotions that you're running from, that you're terrified of, that we get into arguments about black and white over, look, man, I need you. The world needs you. If I'm unhappy, it's because I'm not being who I really am. If you're unhappy and you're in a relationship and you know you're unhappy, why don't you just go talk to the person and go, dude, I'm unhappy. I think you're unhappy. And what are we going to do? Stay together and be unhappy? Or maybe our I ams are different. You start looking about it like not egos, but I ams. I am me, man. I'm just me, okay? My daughter is her. I don't even know who she is. No one knows who their daughters are. I barely know myself, and I'm going to tell you what my daughter really wants to be and do. All right, guys, I want to say thank you. I do. I'm extremely thankful for you. Things I wrote down here that were monster was love has no motive behind it. Okay. I want to help. I want to see the world a better place. And it's the right thing to do, man. This is not complicated. I get here very quickly once I get honest. This is the right thing to do. There isn't a person in here that's going to say, Gary, stop doing this. Not one of you. You'll be like, bro, it's a gift. You've been given a gift. Hey, guess what? I have been given the gift. That means the gift should be shared. So be strong. Get rid of anyone in your universe. Hey, it's okay to go take 6 weeks off, 2 weeks off, a week off, go live in a hotel, go live in a cabin somewhere. Tell your wife, hey, man, I need some time. Tell your girlfriend, inventory, man. The enemy is inventorying, okay? And I'm inventory. Like if I'm your enemy, I will inventory every weakness you have. I'm a good guy, dude, okay? I do not hurt people. But if you're my enemy, I will know every weakness you have. And if you let me, I'll exploit the fuck out of them. So imagine I'm a nice guy. Imagine what the whole system's doing. None of us have done IAMs for our whole life. So you got these crazy people going, I'm Amazon. I am Amazon. I am an Amazon man. And I'm going to shove shit down people's throats, up their asses, and on their porch as much as possible. Well, that's cool. You like it for a little while until you don't. And then they start going, oh, wow, we're selling some really bad shit, dude. Oh, wow. Purpose, okay? I intend to help this world. I intend to go down and die as somebody that tried to make a difference without having a flaunt ego and jets and money and charge people subscriptions, and everything's got to turn into a fucking, I need your email address. I don't want to sell you something. I want to sell freedom. I don't think it's free. I'm not going to charge you for it. It is most certainly not free. It is going to require work. And more importantly, it's going to require you to be different than the rest of the 6 or 8 billion people that we reportedly have on this planet. I prefer to be courageous and audacious than happy. I think it's my obligation, in fact. That doesn't mean it's going to be unhappy for me. It's going to be, in truth, it's going to provide me the most passionate, rich, and right in the fairway experience for me, the focus of being in the lane. I'm a big believer in staying in your damn lane. I'm an even bigger believer in finding your lane. Okay, most people never even find the lane to get in and stay in. And that's why they get into a bunch of different lanes, because they don't, like, I'm good at few things, dude. That's all I need to sharpen is the few things that I have been given that allow me to be great. And then Henry can go focus on the few things that he's been given. And if he doesn't stray into, like, if everybody's not trying to be everybody, I can be brilliant, man. I mean, as sharp as a razor. All right, you guys go out there. I need you to go out and help someone today, okay? Get out of your house, your car, go help a stranger, preferably somebody you judge negatively. It's the part of the charge of this course. You have to go out and help somebody, and if you brag about it to anybody, you got to do it 4 times. You can brag, but you got to do 4x on the ones you don't brag. I want to thank you very much. I won't apologize for going on so long. You guys are welcome. And I don't say that condescendingly or arrogantly. Love you guys. Really appreciate you being here, and really appreciate all the people that are always here. And I love seeing the new names in here. And congratulations to 6,622 count day. I don't know if there's really 6,600 real people in here or not. Maybe concurrently. I don't know why it's so difficult just to show a actual who's here when they're here. But, you know, these technology guys, it's a big challenge. David Kiefer, I want to thank you very much for a great idea. Thank you very much. You're awesome, dude. Quietude is a word. Hey, dude, I have a good vocabulary because I read a lot. I've read a lot my whole life. Having a good vocabulary is really important to being a good communicator. And again, it doesn't really cost much. Dictionary, you know, dictionary, D-I-C. Nobody uses dictionaries anymore, okay? So, hey, guys, thank you. Love you. And have I done everything? If you're really busy and there's a lot of noise, it's hard to listen to yourself. Can I just leave you with that one? If it's really busy and there's a lot of noise and you haven't spent that 1 hour of solitude with yourself, it is really hard to find the little inner voice. And that is really what we're talking about. That's all we're talking about, man. Because I think you're God. I literally think that I am God, and I keep tapping into the wrong damn hook, man, in the wrong connector, okay? I need a bigger pipe, and I need to find the right spot. And then I'm going to light up like a freaking Christmas tree and be lasting. Be lasting. That's cool. Goodbye. Have a great Sunday. Thank you.